Oh shit, almost forgot something. Oh well. Fuck it, keep going. Oh, these fools forgot to do this. Da, 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 da. Incense stick. For the ages. Oh shit. Scaring myself. Scaring even myself. Oh, Amy, you have a chance to do this. I think I'm messing it up. Alright, hold on. Let's put this down for a minute. Because we're going to get to a little bit of a story and talk about something that we've talked about before, but not really. But you know what? First things last. First things last. Right? Lovely. Lovely. Alright. What we want to talk about is something that a lot of you kiddies don't really know too much about, if anything. And that's taking pictures. Yeah, okay. Alright, so that's not actually true. However, how about this? Taking pictures using actual film. Okay, less hands are up right now. If there are any hands up. Of course, with today's digital technology, taking pictures, taking thousands and thousands of pictures from your phone or whatever, makes the decision of what to take pictures of really not too difficult. I think I'll just take a picture. 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 If you don't like the picture later, delete it. Oh, there's more. Well, of course, there are those of us who know this is a very recent development. And strangely enough, though, it's weird, that, taking pictures is only about 200 or so years old. Actually, taking pictures is only around 200 or so years old. So, of course, in the beginning of taking pictures, what you took a picture of was really limited. But as time goes on, advances in technology and film technology and camera technology ended up to where you could take more pictures, more stuff, with less contemplation of what you're going to take your picture of. However, there is still a certain limitation, and that limitation, barring professional use and whatnot, that limitation has pretty much been eradicated thanks to digital camera technology. That change really came about in the very early 2000s. Getting towards the 2010s was really when it started. Really, that was really the breakout. Okay, but early 2000s, camera phones were around, but they were still very new and people still were using regular cameras with film. He was even mentioned in was it a strange encounter? Chance meeting? I don't know. The one where we talked about Mr. Vane and someone someone he didn't know took a picture of him for whatever reasons. And I even brought it up in there that, you have to be more selective My camera. We're already going. Alright. What people take pictures of, therefore, prior to this wonderful digital age, is very much more selective and, in certain ways, more meaningful because you had this limitation. Because you had the limits on how many pictures you could take. You had to really weigh out what you didn't want to waste your precious film on. And what was worth that snap. Right? Right. Now, what does this have to do with Mr. Vane other than the story we've already told you? How about another story? Okay. Mr. Vane, during his 20s, held jobs into which he was in the position, as he usually did, keeping himself in very good shape. He was able to lift weights, and well, if the job itself didn't require him a lot of lifting and heavy lifting at that, it was also, or he had the ability to go to a physical fitness center, use the weights and running track system and whatnot. So overall, Mr. Vane, as you would expect with a name like Vane, kept himself in very good shape. Mr. Vane at the time had a girlfriend, a very petite little girlfriend. Mr. Vane would always call her Daniel sized. She was about 2 inches or so shorter than Daniel, and she never weighed, as long as he knew her, more than 90 pounds. She was a little thing. But Mr. Vane, at the time, never weighed more than 130. Anyway, often the two would go out on wherever, amusement parks and such, Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm, Magic Mountain, things like that. And after long days of walking around and enjoying the day, enjoying the park, Mr. Vane's girlfriend would get extremely tired, and, well, also she was born with knee problems, so eventually, too, her knees would start hurting extremely bad, especially towards the end of the day. So, usually when they left the park, Mr. Vane, being in, good physical condition, and the fact that she weighed almost nothing, comparatively, he would carry her, usually from the gate of the park to their car, wherever it was parked. Yeah, and that often, if you've ever been to amusement park parking lots, they're pretty wide. But you would make it. Often, Mr. Vane would be amused by comments coming from others, usually girls, that they passed by that were going out of the park as well. Of course, claiming, I wish somebody would carry me to my car. Yeah. You have to be this little bitty thing, too. And you have to have someone as badass as Mr. Vane carrying you. Moving on. Alright. Las Vegas, early 2002. Mr. Vane, his girlfriend, and several other friends made a vacation to Las Vegas, Nevada. Sin City, city without clock, etc., etc., all things. Well, at some point, all the friends had gone off, split off, doing their own things. Mr. Vane and his girlfriend went off, did their thing. As the day was starting to wear on, it was still early, but they had been walking around, looking at things, looking at sites, checking out different hotels down the strip of Las Vegas, and eventually, of course, Mr. Vane's girlfriend did grow tired and they needed to get back to their hotel, which was quite a distance away. But it was still early in the day, and the sidewalks were not quite crowded as they get at night. Or, when there's no CO thing, BODO thing. Anyway, so Mr. Vane opted to carry his girlfriend from wherever they were, several blocks away from the hotel. Mr. Vane picks her up, cradles her style. She, curls her head into his shoulder and whatever, holding onto his neck. They had become very proficient at how to do this so that it balanced on Mr. Vane very well. He could get it true to the balance very well, so he could actually walk these long distances carrying her. They even developed a system to where if she was slipping down, he could get her to pop her up in the air and get her up. Wow, without missing a step. To do this. Anyway, yeah, you're getting to it. I'm sure you're currently starting to figure out what this whole thing has to do with taking a picture. They're walking down the street. Fortunately, because of how relatively empty the sidewalks were, Mr. Vane could see people coming towards him as well as they could see him. And most often they were courteous enough to step aside as to not cause Mr. Vane to have to change his direction, his motion in any more way than needed. After all, he was carrying a person. And of course, you don't cuddle that. Shut up. Mr. Vane, what time really Mr. Vane had to alter his path was when he had to pass somebody up. Yeah, that's right, he's carrying a girl, walking down the street, and he's still passing people up. Poof, strides. Bam! And yes, inevitably, it happened. The lady coming the other direction, she could see him from a decent distance away. And she stopped where she was, had this, adoring smile on her hand. Yeah, that's what it was. This was her smile. No. She smiled, I can't really do that. Took out her camera. And this is most likely, Vegas, a tourist, got a camera, taking pictures of, interesting little things of our friends, whatever, family. And then guess what? Walking down the street of Las Vegas, some guy carrying what she could only guess was his sweetheart. So, without even trying to disrupt Mr. Vane's progress, she just set herself up to just that moment to take the picture. Mr. Vane, of course, watching what was going on, could see the picture coming. He obliged with a little smile for the camera as he walked by. And that was that. His girlfriend woke up, she was kind of asleep in his arms when she heard the snap and ventured if they did indeed just have their picture taken. And of course, Mr. Vane confirmed that they did. Why that lady felt, really think about it. You gotta put it in this perspective. There were a lot of people. It wasn't completely super crowded, but plenty of people on the street that day saw Mr. Vane carrying his girlfriend, and they most likely, a lot of them did have cameras. But out of all of them, only this one lady decided and felt the need to capture that moment. Perfect strangers, nothing, that's inherently part of Vegas, but maybe that was it. Maybe that was one of the things about it. Maybe it was something special about that moment being in Vegas, and she just, something you're not going to see likely ever again. So, there you go. Something you're not likely going to see ever again, I guess. good reason to take a picture. Of course, today, people just randomly take pictures of themselves all the time because, you know, you don't see that enough in the mirror. Selfies weren't much of a thing. I mean, they were a thing in the days of film. Not like today. And usually when selfies were done, there was always other people in the shot. Too, it was, you know, it's kind of hard to, because you don't have that selfie camera thing. You know what? I'm going on about crap that I don't need to go on about, and it's, yes, very warm in here, and we have something else special going on for our next one. I hope you like it. And I hope you like this. Don't be a minion.